Hey everyone, welcome back to JP Reacts. Today we're going to be covering a brand new topic, somebody I forgot was even running for the Senate. Can you guess who it is? Stay tuned after this. Well, we'll jump right in. The Senate candidate you're probably all thinking I forgot was, that's it, Herschel Walker. He's running apparently for Senate in Georgia, and he's made some unusual statements over the last few days. So much so it's popped up on Reddit. So let's check out this first thing. Okay. So the title of this post is Evolution That Didn't Happen. What do we think he is going to say in this post? I'm not really sure. Evolution is pretty much an established scientific principle at this point. Could even call it a fact if you wanted to. But let's look at the rest of the post and see if we could figure out what the heck is going on here. Okay, so here's the full quote. Herschel Walker, skeptical of evolution. Why are there still apes? Think about it. The former NFL player who is now running for Senate in Georgia gets some basic facts wrong. So, yeah, so evolution is something that pops up from time to time, and it's interesting that a Senate candidate is so misinformed about some basic science. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a biologist for sure. But we'll talk about some of the basics and why his statement is basically ridiculous. He obviously is thinking about a very famous picture of evolution that which I'll put it. Hopefully it can pop up while I'm talking about it here. Is the picture depicts the evolution of man from ape all the way through step by step to human, right? And when we're thinking about this one image, which is not a scientific image, has basically produced so much misunderstanding in so many ways for certain groups of people to mischaracterize the way evolution works. And the reason that they can do this is because this is the popular image in most people's minds when they think about human evolution. And it's really, I'll see if I can find out where it came from, but I'm pretty sure it came from like an illustrated book about how evolution happened, and it was more of a fictional retelling of it. I'm going to bring up a different picture hopefully while I talk about this next part, which actually describes what we're talking about. And that is evolution by natural selection. And the way this is phrased is it's not things don't evolve from one person to the next thing. So you're not going to see basically a monkey and the next time it's going to be a person. Like they're not going to give birth to a person, a monkey, or any of the great apes aren't going to give birth to a person. That's not how this works. Basically, we've all seen the diagram of how cells divide. We've seen that in school. That's an elementary school thing. And how in the nucleus of the cell, each of the DNA strands are copied, right? And there are, at times, it's not a perfect process. So there are times when there are mistranslations when they're trying to make a copy of itself. This is called a mutation. And they happen all the time. And they're happening now inside of you. They are happening now inside of me. And these mutations are in our genes. The vast majority don't even make an impact on anything to do with your physiology or anything to do with anything about you. They don't have any impact whatsoever. But occasionally, one of these mutations makes an impact. And if that mutation is beneficial to the species, say it speeds up reproduction, or it makes it easier for you to see, or for you to find your food source, or to find water, or to hide from predators, or any number of things that would make it easier for you to reproduce, you will pass on those genes and you will pass on that mutation. So what's going to happen is, as more and more people with that mutation, or more and more animals, I'm using people in the general term, but animals or plants, basically any living thing, pass along that mutation, that beneficial mutation, and they reproduce at a higher rate, eventually they're going to be, that mutation is going to be the only version that's visible in the population. And if that happens enough times, and it becomes so the new version of the gene, or a collection of genes, make it so it's distinctive enough to it'll be distinctive enough to become its own species. So that's how it happens over long periods of time. This doesn't happen generation to generation, right? Here's an easy one to think about: polar bears, right? Polar bears used to be brown. They migrated up to the northern climates, and then when they were in the northern climates, where there's lots of snow, there was a mutation for their fur color. It turns some of the babies' fur white. And obviously, when you're in a snowy condition, being white versus a white background versus being brown versus a white background gives you a significant advantage. Eventually, the only bears left in the Arctic or in the northern regions or southern regions, I don't remember where polar bears exactly live, were the only ones there. They became their own distinct species because they were different enough from the previous brown version that they became their own distinct species, and they're the dominant. They're really the only version of a bear that lives in the snowy climates. So that's what we're talking about here. It happens over long periods of time. There was a long time there where there were white polar bears, or whatever they were called back then, and brown bears that were living in that area. So it's not just a one-to-one. You go from one spot to the next spot. So when we're thinking about what Herschel Walker is saying here, why are there still apes? Think about it. We didn't come straight from apes. So even me, a non-scientist, understands that we didn't come straight from apes. So there's gonna be apes. It just doesn't make sense. And it's very frustrating to people that understand basic biology that we learned in elementary and high school, that this is not how it works. There isn't, hey, all the apes turned into people, so there's no more apes. That doesn't make any sense. So hopefully somebody educates them. Most likely that's never going to happen, because Herschel Walker is a very rich, powerful person. He's running for Senate. He's actually leading right now, which is a little terrifying. But he doesn't seem to be the brightest bulb when it comes to science. So what do you think he meant by this? Is it literally what he's talking about? Does he literally think humans came directly from apes and then apes would be gone? Or is he just saying this to appeal to a voting bloc? Does he actually believe this? Tell me what you think below. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Share this out with your friends. See if anybody else has any thoughts. See what they think about this. For me, it seems a little bit weird, but you never know what others might think. So until I see you next time, have a great day around the internet. Bye.